All right, welcome friends to the Purpose to Profit Academy, the Expert Speaker Series. And today I am so honored and excited to welcome Sharlene Lynch to our guest series. Sharlene, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. My name, as she said, is Sharlene Lynch. I'm a speaker and thought leader on Mindshift, the future of mindset. Yes, and I discovered visual models back in 2017 and have been in love with them ever since. It leveraged me as a professional speaker so that I could easily speak on stage for an hour without using any notes, just having 4 visual model slides, and that enabled me to unpack everything that I bring to the world. So I love them. They're exciting. They're a little on the sexy side. And whether you're speaking on camera or in person, visual models help you explain what it is that you bring to the world. Yes, and if you are looking to write a book or expand and do a VIP series or a longer 12-month program, using these visual models will help you explain what it is that you bring to the world. So they can also be used as a pitch deck, and they can also be used as a sales brochure as well. So I love them. I love them. And now for many years, I've now been using this to help unpack intellectual property from my audience, my clients, to help them bring their magic to the world and help them scale and streamline and really stand out in this very, very busy, noisy world. It's just, look, there are so many people, there is so much noise, and it's shifted and changed a lot in the time that I've been alive. So I'm 57, and now you're supposed to say, oh, you don't look 57.
You don't
Thanks,
look
Tatiana.
57, you look amazing. You look younger than me. I'm telling you.
Oh, see, this is why we're good
Seriously.
friends. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so 57. So I've seen a lot, and in this time, what I have noticed is how we are now bombarded. In fact, your audience, your likely clients, your prospects are bombarded by more than 74 gigabytes of information on a daily basis. So if you equated that out, that is like watching 16 movies in a row. That's a lot. So you need to be able to cut through that to get their attention and to let them see that you're the expert authority. And that's why I love visual models. And you're in the right place today because we're all looking at expanding our reach and moving to that next level. So visual models can very much play a part on how you can bring your genius to the market.
I love that, Charlene. Thank you. Let's dive into what those models are. Can you little uncover and unpack them for us and how to use them in the context of entrepreneurship and really positioning yourself as an expert in your industry?
Yeah, so some things that we need to understand is a little bit about how the brain works. So my background is in accounting and holistic psychology. So I'll just give you a little bit of how the brain works. What I notice with a lot of entrepreneurs is we go straight for the slow system as opposed to straight to the fast system. So our brains have 2 systems, a fast system and a slow system. Now we need both in order to just process how to even wake up and get to work and how to just get through the day. So we need both. But what I notice with lots of our entrepreneurs is that we're using the slow system to try and get our audience's attention. So let me just unpack this a little bit. So the fast system is, if you imagine, if you see a stop sign, doesn't matter which country you're in, you know it's a stop sign. Yeah, so it's the same shape, same color, you know that it's stop. When we see a caution sign, you know, generally they're in a triangle and they've got an exclamation mark in the middle. So we know that that yellow and that black is a caution. So there's signs that we can see that we instantly know, and that gives us that instant recognition. So that's our fast system. Now, we need this fast system for everything. Yes, and we also need the slow system. So the slow system is if I said to you, what's 27 times 36? Like, unless you're a maths genius, you're going to have to think about that for a few hot seconds. So that's the slow system where we go internally and we have to think. So we need that as well for processing. But what I notice is lots of entrepreneurs, lots of people that are expanding their reach, whether they be wellness practitioners or educators or anything else in between, is that we're using the slow system to try and get people's attention. And that's not going to work because we've got less than 3 seconds to get people's attention. And this is why. scroll, 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 scroll. We scroll like 3 miles a day. That's a lot of scrolling. So we need to be able to get their attention. So you must use the quick, the fast system to get their attention. So how do we do that? Visual models. Humans, 50% of our brains dedicated to visual. It doesn't matter which learning technique that you use, whether you're kinesiology, whether you're whether you read auditory, I know the words are in there somewhere, whether you're auditory, whether you are touch, kinesthetic, or visual, it doesn't matter what your learning modality is. 50% of your brain is dedicated to actually visuals.
Yeah.
So regardless of your learning methodology. So if we use visuals that get their attention, this is what stops the scroll, and this is why you can explain it. So visual models are very powerful for getting your audience's attention, and even more so for them retaining your information. So we've got what's called the picture superiority effect. And this is that if you use pictures combined with text, people will remember what it is that you've said. If it's just text only, they really won't remember. In fact, 3 days after they've read your post, or 3 days after they've seen your speech, or 3 days after they've been to your workshop, only 10% of what you delivered they'll even remember. Whereas if you use pictures and text, 65% of what it is that you say and do and show them, they'll actually retain. Now, why is that important? Because you, as the entrepreneur, if people can remember what it is that you bring to market, they're going to tell other people. They'll become your advocates. And when they can tell, they grow, they expand, they use yours, they now lean on you as the expert authority. So we need to use that system. And that's how we scale and move forward. Yes, and I've seen some pretty dodgy attempts at models in my time. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. And if you do it the wrong way, I can tell you, you lose everything. You lose credibility on every level. So there are some guidelines in and around visual models that you do need to follow.
Yeah, what are the wrong ways? What mistakes people should avoid? Just a few of them.
Yeah, okay. So look, if you're going to do models, they need to be professional. They need to be professional.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, you can use Canva for some of them, but they look very cut and paste. So, and so you really want to make sure, that they're on brand. So that they look like your brand imagery, so that they follow your brand story, so that they're you. They can see that. So they need to be in brand fonts, they need to be in brand colors, and they need to be in your brand story. So as a mindset coach, when I stand on stage and talk and do my keynote, I talk about the shift process. So I talk about how we can shift from where we are to where we want to be. So I tell my personal tragedy story, and I tell people how I transitioned from where I was to where I am today. Now, everything that I talk about is about frequency. So my imagery is in frequency. So when you look at it, you can see its frequency. So it's in frequency of color, and it's also literally in frequency. So it's very, very much on brand. So you want to make sure that your models are on brand. They need to be sharp and shiny, and they need to be, if your brand is curved, they need to be curved. If your brand is sharp, they need to be sharp. And so they also need to tell your brand story as well. The other thing is, I see people trying to shove too much into one model, and it looks like a dog's breakfast. They generally look like Venn diagrams, and they've got 100 things in it. And when you show a person that, they're like, I just don't understand what it is you're trying to say. There's way too much in there. Now, I do love Venn diagrams. They have their place. But when you try and shove too much into a small space, it doesn't work. And they need to be congruent. So I've seen some that say Indonesia and yes and apricots. Like, what have they got to do with each other? So they need to make sure that they're all congruent and that they're telling a story. So just like we have a brand story, and we tell might be our tragedy story, or we tell our why are we doing this and why am I here to make a difference story. So our brand story, our brand imagery, it needs to support that. So you need a minimum of 4 models to take them through that journey. And you cannot shove them all into one. They need to be separate. So there's 4 distinct separate chapters to telling your story. And when you tell it this way, what I notice is at the end of it, people go, hell yes, I'll have that. Thank you very much. So it becomes your pitch deck, and it also becomes your sales brochure that you can actually send off as a PDF or off as a video. And people then can read that and look at that, and it says everything that they need to know about what it is that you do and what you bring to the world. So yeah, so that's how not to do it, and that's how to do it. But I would love to go through the 4 different models if we've got time.
If you could, because as you were explaining the models, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because all the professional like reels, ads online on Facebook, Instagram that I see, they're all, speaker, and then the imagery, right? That's actually consistent with the message. So we actually, you said 65% is visual, how we, take in the information. And I agree with you. Those reels are powerful. Like, for example, Mind Valley, right? They're using the imagery plus the speaker's message, and it makes such a powerful impact on the viewer, isn't it? I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
It so is. And so that's consistency with your brand story and your brand
Yeah.
imagery as well. So
Yeah.
I love it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you do need 4 to go through the process. So let me just take them through that. So the first model that you need is a model that tells your client journey, your client
Mm.
journey. Now, for those of you who are practitioners, it might be your own personal story. So for instance, so my personal story is, well, aside from personal tragedy, I lost my baby boy at the age of 17, and that just shifted and changed everything. But at that moment in time when I lost him, I was an alcoholic, had been for 30 years, OCD to the point of self-harm, ADHD to the point of total distraction, totally dyslexic, still am. Like I still am all of these things, but I've progressed. And a spectacular hoarder, not just a little hoarder, we're talking 33 cubic meters of stuff.
Oh,
So
wow.
I transitioned from that hot mess to being a world-class transformational speaker. I'm now sober 8 years. Yay.
Amazing.
My OCD is now my superpower. My ADHD is now my superpower. And hoarding, well, I live in house and gardens. So when I do a lot of interviews with the paper and also with television, they come to my house to do the interviews because I literally live in house and garden. So a big shift from where I was to where I am now. It's really been quite dramatic, but I take them through that shift process. So when I talk about the shift process, you can see where I was on that journey, and you can see where you are on the journey. So your first model needs to be a client journey. Now, if you're business to business, that looks a little different because we're looking at a matrix, yes? But if you're business to customer, it literally looks like a journey. Now, the benefit for this and your clients is they can self-identify where they are on your client journey. The great thing for you as a business owner is you'll know, they're not quite ready to work with me. They need to do my pre-work program, or I need to keep them in my Facebook group, or I need to keep them in my LinkedIn group and just educate them and keep them in that proximity until they're ready to move on to work with me. So this helps you, it helps them. And it really does make a powerful difference. You won't waste your time, effort, and energy working with people that are not a good fit for you and what it is that you bring to the planet. So I love the client journey. And I know that when I take my clients through, my models, that the very first one, they go, oh my gosh, this is exactly where I am. I know exactly what I need, and this is what I need. So it's really, really helpful. So that's model 1. So that's the journey. And model 2 needs to be more in around what do they need to get to where they need to go. Yeah. So we have a look at all of that, and we really unpack that, not in your language, in their language. And this is a big challenge that I notice lots of entrepreneurs and business owners make, is that they use their chapter 20 language for someone who's at chapter 1. And so there's no match. So they don't even know, yes, you know this is what they need, but they don't know that's what they need because they don't even know what it is that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we need to make sure it's like a famous one is people referring to limiting beliefs. Well, if someone has got limiting beliefs and they don't even have that level of awareness, they're not even going to know that busting limiting beliefs is what they need to get through what they've got. They just know they've got a shitty life and it's not what they want. So we need to make sure that the language that we're using is where they are. So the next model is in around what they need to get to where they need to go. The third model is in and around your particular process. So how do you do step by step to get to where they need to go? So process model is all in and around those beautiful little steps. Now, many people I work with have a process, and that's fantastic. We love our processes because we know it's the journey, it's the boat to the other side of the river. Our clients don't. When we did a survey, we had a look. Clients don't actually really care about your process. But we do as practitioners, we do as coaches, we do as entrepreneurs. So we still need to have one, but it's not the do all and end all for the clients. What is important are those first two and the last one that I'm about to talk about. So they want to know the journey. They want to know what they need to take on the journey. The process, yep, great. Okay, you've got some magical thing that you do. That's fabulous. And then the last model, the fourth model, is really about the KPIs, the key indicators, the outcomes they're going to get from working with you. And they need to be short, sharp, and shiny. They need to be crisp. They need to be very tangible for the audience that you're working with, because this is going to help them. These four models is going to take them on a journey for making this decision that this is what they want to do. Very, very powerful. I love it. I do. So I see my clients going on to, they might be working with smaller groups and they've got this great idea for an education. And then once they finish working with me, now they're on a global stage, sharing this at a bigger level, or now integrating with technology. And now this program that they had just for this many people is now gone global. So I love to see the expansion. I love to see what's possible for people. And it's really interesting. So I'm totally dyslexic. And when you speak, I see pictures. So it's amazing. So the whole process is, for me, I listen to you for 12 hours, do lots of typing. There's lots of spelling mistakes, but that's thanks, Grammarly, we've got that sorted. But when you're talking, I see the pictures and they emerge. And it's amazing, because then I'm now thinking at chapter 1 while you're talking at chapter 20. And now we've got something that's presentable for people where they are in their journey to work with you. So I love it. I love it. I love it. You can tell I'm passionate about it. And that's because it's really shifted my professional speaking. It's enabled me to stand on stage and do a keynote about a very personal story and how I transitioned through that. And it's also allowed me to help other practitioners and educators really uplift their game, get themselves to the next level and play a bigger game on the next level.
This is incredible, Sharlene. First of all, I'm so grateful for you sharing your story, and what a magnificent transformation we witnessed. I mean, you are phenomenal, and what you are sharing is so powerful. Thank you. And it totally makes sense, because when we talk to our clients, right, we really want to connect them to their vision. The vision is visual, right? And really share with them how you're going to close that gap between where they are now and their big vision, right? And we can, and I encourage them to dream big, because it's all here. It's all in our perception, right? What's possible for us and what big really means, right? Versus small. Amazing. Thank you. This is so powerful. Now, can you offer this as a free resource for anyone watching this and recording?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to have a link that you can link on, and it's one of my link trees, and it will take you to, we have workshops that go for 90 minutes that explain all of this, and you can just sit there, take notes, and it's actually interactive. So you can tell me a little bit about your business and I can tell you what the model could look like. So that service is currently available, and on a monthly basis, you'll be able to see those. I also have a free gift for our audience today, something that really was instrumental for me as I was transitioning from the hot mess that I was in to who I am now. And that was getting really real with my purpose, for looking at all of the broken pieces of me and putting it together so that I could bring something to the market that was uniquely me and also earn an income from it. So that's the big thing, is that we can do uniquely you, and it can be a painting on the wall, but we do need to find a way to make an income from it. So I've got a beautiful piece called Finding Your Sweet Spot, and it is the piece that got me from where I was to where I am, and it's unpacking your life purpose, but so that you can make an income. It's really, really simple, and I get such amazing feedback from people who watch it. It's 5 very quick videos. It goes for a total of 25 minutes. You watch a video, you write some things down, give yourself a break because you're going to need to process, and then just do them at self-paced. It's completely free, and that's in the Linktree link. It's called Freebie. And I also have another gift here, aside from coming along and having a look in a workshop. For those of you who really need to step up and look at a bigger version of what's possible for your life, if you're really ready to scale, I do a very quick growth accelerator so that we can actually see. My background is accounting. So I know, dyslexic and accounting, how does that work? Well, it still does. Is that, I know, I created the word creative accounting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do a growth simulator just to show you, with the limited number of hours that you want to turn up, what income you could make. That will really blow your socks off. You'll fall off the chair, because when you can see what is possible with just shifting and moving a few things, a few blocks around, you'll just like, wow. It's just next level. So yeah, they're all freebies and they're in the link. So it's an honor to be able to serve you here as you expand and grow and move to the next level of what's possible. The only thing that's in the way is you, just going to say.
Absolutely.
Because you've got this. You have got this. You are designed with all the answers inside of you. You just need to take the brakes off. And yeah, I'd love to be part of that process to help you elevate.
Sharlene, that was so valuable and so powerful. I love your energy. I love your wisdom. It's absolutely priceless. This interview was gold. I personally learned so much. I have a bunch of notes here that I'm going to use in my business. We will be linking all your freebies as a Linktree link. Plus, there will be access to work with you personally, right? There will be a link to actually connect with you and be your client, right? Yeah, wonderful, fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, any final words to anyone watching this and recording? I know we will have had already incredible interview. Any final words of wisdom?
Yeah. So if I dial the clock back to September 2011, when, that pinnacle moment happened for me, future me, now this many years down the track, 2023, was having a conversation with me in 2011, the thing that I would say is that you've got this. That even though you can't see it from the broken state that you're in, and the lack of bank account, that you've got everything. There's no difference between who I am now and who you are then. You've got this. You just need to trust yourself. You need to take the brakes off. You need to shift your proximity. Make sure that you're surrounded by people that really get you and that want to support you, because change does meet resistance. And I know, as I changed and I grew, is the people around me, some of them felt uncomfortable. So by up-leveling my proximity to people who were moving forward, it really helped me hold that space for me to move forward. So watch your proximity and just know that you have got this.
You've got this. Absolutely. That was so powerful and inspiring. I'm very grateful for you being part of this guest speaker series. Sharlene, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.